Is Goldman Sachs prophesying? Long ago, the Christian Orthodox elder Ephraim of the monastery of St. Anthony of Arizona and other Orthodox saints foretold these things that are happening now. And this is what life is bringing to us. Today, we're all dealing with the Ukraine-Russia conflict, but are the most shocking things to happen across the Atlantic. And the writer says, I wish it was a nightmare, but it will be a daily life that will keep getting worse. What the faithful elder Ephraim told us years ago, now Goldman Sachs is telling us. This is what Doctor of Theology Konstantinos Vardakas is saying. And how many other saints foretold us. America that fed so many people will starve. Saint Aristotle. America will become divided, said Elder Vasilios of the Mount Athos. America will suffer, said Elder Ioannis Kalaidis. America will be tested one more time beyond September 11, 2001, said Elder Ambrosius Lazaris, excerpts from the articles of Banking USA. The perfect economic storm is coming. Bankruptcy of historic dimensions of the Biden policy. No one in the world is ever going to forget the financial Armageddon that erupted during Joe Biden's presidency. The nightmare warnings of economic analysts and the policies pursued by the government and the Federal Reserve and central banks would destroy the value of the currency, the dollar, and unleash rampant inflation came true. For years, there have also been warnings of an impending global energy crisis, and now that is here. But all this seems to be the tip of the iceberg. Shortages of goods recorded will worsen. Many of the outrageously high prices will look like bargains by the end of the year. The U.S. economy appears to be slowing down at a rapid pace at the exact time that economies around the world are moving in the other direction. The CEO of Goldman Sachs just told us that, quote, there will be tougher economic times ahead, end quote, and he's not exaggerating one bit. Quote, we now have an oil crisis, gas crisis, and an electricity crisis at the same time. This is what Fatih Birol, head of the International Energy Agency's monitoring group, told the German newspaper Der Spiegel in an interview published this week. He said this energy crisis is much bigger than the oil crises of the 1970s and 1980s, and it will probably take longer. The global economy has largely been able to withstand rising energy prices so far. However, prices could continue to rise to unsustainable levels as Europe also tries to wean itself off Russian oil and potentially gas. Shortages due to supply problems could lead to some tough choices in Europe, including rationing, destruction of the European economy. What do you think the European economy will look like when there is widespread gas rationing 6 months from now? Can you imagine? Can anyone out there answer this question? We've never experienced anything like it before, and one industry insider refers to it as a perfect storm, quote unquote. Joe McMoneagle, Secretary General of the International Energy Forum, said he agreed with this gloomy IEA forecast, the perfect storm. He said, we have a serious problem around the world that I think policymakers are just seeing. It's kind of a perfect storm. This is what Joe McMoneagle, whose group acts as an intermediary for countries that produce and consume energy, told CNN in a phone interview. Wheat. The winter wheat harvest in the United States, it will fall well short of initial expectations. In fact, we're told that Kansas winter wheat crop could be down more than 25%. The U.S. winter wheat harvest potential in Kansas has been reduced by more than 25% due to severe drought, and farmers in the state may leave thousands of acres of wheat in the fields this year rather than pay to harvest grain affected by the dry winter. Looking ahead, much less wheat is being planted for the coming growing season due to extremely strange weather patterns in some areas. For example, the amount of wheat currently being planted in North Dakota is expected to be the smallest on record. Some farmers in North Dakota are unable to plant as much wheat as they normally would because of heavy rainfall across the state. Government data shows the state is expected to plant wheat on the smallest recorded share of its agricultural land. The bottom line is that there are really serious problems that are not going away anytime soon. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article from Banking News Greece. And going back to what we're doing, he said, what we are doing now. In 2027, in a discussion, he revealed the following to his spiritual children, Father Pavlos Tsuknidas. A big crisis is coming to Greece. Wherever it is, shops will be closed, employees will be laid off, shops and businesses will be closed. Don't ask what hunger is coming. Gone are the things they knew, extravagances, wastes, good times. The bread, now they will throw it away. But in this crisis that's coming, it will be global, of course, but in Greece it will be bigger. They will say, the bread, oh, my sweet little crumb. Jobs aren't there. There won't be any. Poverty and hunger are coming. I'm telling you, know it. And Father Serafim Dimopoulos said, with the pure power of the Holy Spirit dwelling within him, had very characteristically warned a family man with many children who at the beginning of 2008 wanted to ask for a blessing from the elder to start building something for the children. And the elder, Father Serafim, answered him, no, my child, work on the land to support your children. We will sleep one night and we will have everything, and in the morning we will wake up and have nothing, he said. That's from the book Verbs of Life from Father Serafim. And he said, we all sense that the years of abundance and wealth will soon pass, and man will find himself in times of pain and privation. From the book of Ascetics in the World, Volume 2, Biography, page 350. And this is from Konstantinoupoli Pothumeno. It's a blog spot, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. So these are some of the prophesied events that will be coming to Europe and the whole world, and even Greece. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.